Hey guys, how's it going? I am setting up this mentoring session for Gwen right now. Once I have this set up, I'm going to send her the link and then we are going to get started. So let me just finish setting this up real quick. Get this link sent over to Gwen. Set up real quick, and then we should be good. Then a few, how long does this take? Hey Gwen.
Hi, how are you, Shawn?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm good.
You just keep doing the same
thing. Awesome. Just give me a moment. I just want to I was listening to you. Just a second.
Okay. Yeah, sure, definitely. Take your time. I'll be here just waiting, so that's fine.
Okay. Okay, I am back. Perfect. So how are you doing?
Been great. How are you? It's been a good week so far.
Yes, it's been great for you. Well, for most of you.
Yes.
Not so great for me.
Oh, have you been taking trades?
Well, I took some trades, but because I have a small account, so I've been making very small profits. And sometimes, you know, I am a little bit slow in catching up, you know, catching the trades when you call them out. So sometimes I miss them. But otherwise, everything is going fine. I kind of following the trend of your teaching and especially the K² Snipe strategy. I think I have gotten a hold of it. I think I understand it, but then I want to practice it with you so that I know whether I'm really doing it right. So, and then learn more about, you know, the other tools that you use in trading.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So have you applied the Snipe strategy already, or are you still just looking at it for now?
Well, I've applied it, you know, and I actually, you know, I don't know whether I can share my screen. I've actually done some to show you what I did so you can critique it if in case I've done anything wrong.
Yeah, definitely. So you can share your screen. There should be a button there. It says new share or share screen. It should be down the middle for your toolbar.
Is it the one with the arrow? Okay.
I believe so.
It says share. It says share, yeah.
Yes, it should be that button. Once you click on it,
green button. You say you cannot start screen share while the other participant is sharing.
Yeah, let me see if I can. I'll probably just turn mine off here. There we go. There you go. You should be able to do it now.
Okay. So,
There we go.
so let me just, where's my screen? I'm trying to, can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, I'm just trying to look for I don't know what's happening here. I'm trying to look for the tab that I used to open. No, it's not it.
I think it's the fifth one, the one on the right of that one. Where it has,
Okay, I've seen it. I've seen it. Yes,
there
yes,
we go.
that's it. So this is what I've done, going by the rules, following the rules for the K2 sniping strategy. And I've drawn up a couple of, trade setups. So I do, and then I'd like also to us to review some of the other candles where I thought they didn't have any zones, so I didn't take any trade there because I didn't see any zones. I thought I needed to take trades within the zones, within the K2SR.
Yes, that's correct.
Zones. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So you need two requirements. The first requirement is a wick rejection off the pivot, and the second requirement is a wick rejection off the structure. It's basically a double confirmation, indicating that price is going to be going in a certain direction.
Okay, so do you want us to review what I've done so I know whether I did it right or
Yeah, sure.
wrong?
We can do that. So let's clean up your chart a little bit so there's a little more space. So let's go ahead and let's close your watch list. So see right there on the right side where it's a highlighted blue icon. It's
it says publish.
Right to the right of it. See, it's above the clock.
Okay,
See
this one.
More to the right, a little farther. It should be right above the clock on the right hand side. There's like a clock symbol. So right above it, there's a
symbol. This one.
Yes, click on that and it'll make your screen a little bigger. There we go. And then let's take off the RSI since you're not using it right now. So you can just go to the RSI indicator and you can just close that off and then you can add it back on later. It should be the one below, the one in that there's a lower box.
Okay, this one, the pivots.
Right below one more. It should be in the separate panel below it. It should be just drop down a little lower down to the bottom. There should be another panel right below it. Go down a little farther. It says RSI right there next to the magnet.
I only have two the pivots and the K2SR.
You have the if you scroll down to the bottom, go a little lower. It's right where it says RSI. See, it's a big box. It's taking up a lot of space.
Okay, RSI. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So you can close that one. Yeah. So
okay. Good. Sorry.
There we go. So it makes the screen a lot bigger.
Okay, good.
Perfect. So I think one more other thing is go to that the panel below before where it says log. You see where it says log in the bottom right hand corner. There's a little a dash below it. Click on the dash right below it. There's a dash right below it.
Okay, this one.
There we go. Yeah, we'll hit hide.
I should hide. Okay. Yeah. And what does that do to the chart?
There we go. So now you can see you have a full chart. So it makes a lot of space. So let's do so you've already drawn the zones. And then so I guess we can start off with you just pointing out where the first entry is. So like you can go ahead and show me where your first entry is right there. And then I can tell you if it's good or not.
Okay. Let's start with this.
Definitely.
This one, this is a bearish move sell. I'm shorting here. And the signal was that the candle, there was a this one here, the candle was no, this is let me see, am I shorting? Oh, yes, I'm shorting. No.
You can delete that. You can delete that.
I think this is wrong.
Yeah. Let's delete that. There.
Yeah.
There.
Okay. Let's do this one.
There should be one in that area. Do you see it? I can see it right in front of me. So I want to make sure you can identify. Go
this
to that
one.
Middle,
that
one. That would. Let me see real quick. That would not be an entry.
This would not be an entry. Why?
Yeah. So that So you can explain to me why you think it's an entry, and I'll tell you why not.
Okay, because I saw this candle looks bullish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there's okay, it doesn't touch a zone. It's not within any zones. So yeah, it's probably invalid.
That's
And
correct.
but it's there's a weak rejection because it's touching one of the pivots.
Mm-hmm.
So and because this candle is bullish, I thought that was a signal, that it's gonna go up.
Gotcha. Yeah. So the main reason why it wouldn't be a valid entry is, like you mentioned before, there's no wick rejection off the zone. So
Zones.
it
Okay.
does qualify for the first requirement. You can see that red candle there where you identified it rejects off the orange pivot. However,
Yeah.
it does not reject off a zone. So in order for
Zone.
it to be a
Okay.
valid entry, it needs both of the requirements.
Requirements. Okay. So let's remove that.
Yeah,
Let's see.
there's one to
Maybe,
the right. Let's go over to the right real quick and let's see if you can identify that one because I can see it. It's very clear, the one that I'm looking at right there, if you can identify it. So we can go from right to left, and then there should be one entry there in the middle that you sort of identified earlier. It just wasn't marked up properly.
okay, but there are no zones here.
Yeah, so go to that. See where that first zone is. See how there's a candle that's rejecting off it.
Yes, this
Okay.
one.
Yes, the green one. Perfect.
Yes.
So that would be an entry right there. Click on the screen so you could take off those dots. Just click anywhere on the screen. It'll take off.
Okay.
There we go. So you can see that green candle that you were just looking at. You see how the wick is rejecting off the red pivot and it's also rejecting off the structure?
Yes.
Then that would qualify as a sell entry right there.
Okay. But prior to that green candle, okay, this is like a bearish candle, the red
Mhm.
one, and then this like a doji.
Yes.
So you consider this a sell signal? The doji I thought was an indecision candle.
You know, a lot of those candlestick patterns, especially on the
Mm,
5 minute, those are just noise. They don't really mean anything because
okay.
you're looking at it on such a short time frame that on the
Mm,
5 minute it doesn't really mean much. You can see that that's a doji, but in reality it doesn't even go up. It only goes up slightly. It doesn't really push up as what the doji would
no.
indicate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are tricks. You shouldn't fall for those tricks. That's how they trick retail traders. They want to trick you to think that it's going to go up so that you enter a buy, but then it ends up going down the opposite way. And that's how most people lose at trading because they get confused with these little traps that are set up for them.
Okay. So what would be the first signal then?
The entry would be that green one. So you just follow the requirements. It's like a checklist. You just need to make sure the first requirement is met. You have the wick
Okay,
rejection
this
on the
one
pivot.
touches the pivot
That's correct.
and as well as the zone. There's a weak rejection, in the zone as well.
Yes,
So it
that's correct.
complies with the two. But
Mhm.
then
And then you
if,
just want to make sure that the red pivot does not touch the body. So it's not touching the body, and it
yeah,
fulfills.
it's not touching the body. Yeah, and yeah.
That's correct. And then it
Yes, and
fulfills all of the requirements there. So that's a valid entry.
okay. So I should, because I think what I've been hung up on this candles, trying to see whether the prior candle gives a sell or buy signal before I, so, but now you've told me that it doesn't really matter. Sometimes it does, but not always.
Most of the time, it doesn't. A lot of those are just traps that if you learn from like most people that learn those candlestick patterns are learning from someone that doesn't really know how to trade. They just
Mm,
fill you with nonsense, to make you think that
mm,
they make you think that you're looking at something, but in reality, you really aren't because
okay.
you can see right there directly. There's nothing that doji is supposed to indicate a reversal, right?
Yeah.
And there's no reversal there. So
The,
like, it's kind of it works sometimes, but most of the time these candlestick patterns don't always play out
okay.
how they're mentioned, especially on the
So if,
shorter time frames.
okay, so if you say the first signal is this green candle, this green candle is bullish.
Yes.
Okay. But the next one is bearish. Well, okay, it's bullish. The red one.
Yes, that's correct.
But then it's a sell. when
Yes.
you know, it's,
That would be, yeah, that would be
it's
correct, because the wick rejection from the top indicates resistance. So with that rejection off top, you can see that it bounces off like we anticipated it to, and then it drops from
yeah,
that point.
drops down, yeah.
Yeah, so from
So
there we would have taken a sell entry.
so I would have taken it up to this point.
Yes, as soon as the green candle closed, you would have entered a sell position, and then you'd write it down from there to your take profit
Okay.
with absolutely no drawdown. It looks like there was no drawdown at all. It just went straight to your profit target.
Take profit, which would be here.
You can set up the tool. You want to set up the short tool and then see how far it went.
Okay. Okay. So I take it at the opening.
That's correct.
And do I take it up
So
to this?
so if you're trading on the 5 minute, it's probably going to be less than what we normally take. We normally go for 500 pips on the 10 minute. So if you're
Okay.
trading on the 5 minute, it'd probably be half of that. So instead of going for 500 pips, you would just go for about 25 pips. So you can double click on that tool, and then you can update the information there to plot where it's supposed to go. So you can go to settings, and then at ticks, you can just type in 25. 25 is going to be equivalent to 250 pips. There you go.
Okay. Okay. Anything else I need to adjust?
And then you can just click OK, and then it should be good to go. There you go. And then if you click on the screen, it'll clean it up so you can see where those parameters are set. So you can see it goes straight to TP with no drawdown.
Okay. Do I need to adjust this one, the length?
Yeah, you can if you like. It's it's up to preference. It's not really necessary, but
Okay.
you can see there, how simple it is if you just follow the requirements. It's just two simple requirements, with the addition of the confirmation that the pivot doesn't touch the body.
Okay. Okay. And what is the basis? Okay. The average tips we should take, you say like 25, 50, sometimes,
Yes. So
for a 5 minute, since we're just trading for 5 minutes.
Yes, if you're trading on the 5 minute, you should probably go less than what we normally go for. I normally trade on the 10 minute. So on the 10 minute, I go for 500 pips. On the 5 minute, it's a little different because it's a half, it's a half movement. So you might go for something less on the 5 minute. But I mean, it's really up to preference. I don't trade on the 5 minute, and I haven't tested this on the 5 minute. So I don't know what the sweet spot is on the 5 minute, but I do know what the sweet spot is on the 10 minute. So generally, it'll probably be between 250 pips and 500 pips, which would be equivalent to 25 points or 50 points.
Okay. So shall we take another trade, and so I can practice?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, there's no trade here because there are no zones.
Yes, no zone. Let's go there. Yeah, let's go to that left side where you have all those zones marked up. It'll be easier for you to identify trades there. Okay, perfect. So we can start from where it starts to drop there. Can you see right there on the right-hand side? You can see that there's I see a couple entries there if you can see them. So we'll go more to the right. Let's go from the right to the left, and then we'll just go in order. So let's see if you see one right there. Do you see any entries there?
Yes, there's one here.
Yes, the green one, correct?
This green one, yes.
Definitely.
This is sell, because there's rejection from the zone as well as the pivot.
Exactly, spot on. So you spotted that perfectly. So if you were to see that, you can enter another short position when that green candle closes, and then you can write it down.
Okay, let's do that. And then I click on the body to adjust the settings.
There we go.
And then click outside. Okay. And don't I need to extend it, or should I just leave it like that?
It should be fine because you're only going for 500 pips. So it looks like it would have hit a full TP right there as well. You can see it has a slight retracement, but it drops right back down to where it was supposed to go.
Yeah. It's supposed to come here, not so?
It's just a big candle, but that's how it was supposed to move. It
It
moves
was okay.
yeah.
In
You can try zooming in. I think if you zoom in, it'll be a little easier. So you can go scroll down. Yeah, use the zoom in tool, or you can use you can use that too.
Is there another zoom in tool?
Yes.
No, that.
So click on the yeah. There's a zoom. See that plus button right there? You can hit on that plus button right below it. There you go. If you click on that plus button, it will zoom into.
Okay, this one here, the plus. Okay.
There you go. But it'll look a little better. I think you were choosing.
Yes, it looks much better now. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So this trade will trade to the end of this red candle.
Yes, but you would have closed out in profit already since you're just scalping.
Okay. Okay. So I will not actually come here. I will just come halfway here.
Technically, you could put no target and just adjust your stop loss as it moves down. That's one way of doing it. But if you want to have a fixed TP stop loss, then odds are you probably would have hit full TP before it reached that point.
Okay. Okay, so I got that now, and okay, the wick does not touch the candle, so it's just behind it, the body of the candle.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just checking to make sure that the wick does not, touch the. Is at the back.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it should be fine because it's rejecting off the green pivot, and you can see the pivot is quite far from the body. So I think that's a pretty decent entry there.
Okay. So maybe. Oops, what have I done?
Click on you see where it says replay on top? There's a undo button up there. So go back, scroll up to the top where it says replay. Right next to it on the right, there's a undo button. So go a little higher. There's an arrow that's pointing to the left. Right next to it, on the left-hand side. Go to the right. It's right next to where it says replay. See where it says replay? There's a undo.
No, I've not seen replay.
Oh, it's next to it's right in the middle. So it's right next to alert. It says financials, templates, alert, replay.
Yes.
Right
Okay. I see this thing is in its way.
There you go. Go to that right side, and then you should be good. Yeah, that left-hand click right there. See right next to the replay button, there's a left arrow. If you click on that, it will.
This thing is covering it. I don't. Let's see. That's financials.
Yeah, go to Oh,
how do I get this thing out of the way?
Oh, is there something blocking it? You can drag.
Yes, it says you are screen sharing.
Oh, yes. It shows on yours, but it doesn't show on mine, so I can't see that.
Okay, I removed it. I've seen it. I just removed it. Okay.
Oh, no, don't click on replay. Go click on that X button right there. On that. There you go. Click on the left. There you go. Okay, click on that.
Okay, the undo button. Okay. Yeah, this is I'm not too computer savvy, so I'm learning in the process. Use the tools.
Yeah, you'll pick it up quickly, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, shall we do more identify identify some more?
Yeah, definitely. We can keep going, and then we can see if you can identify a bit more. So you can go from that trade that you just took and just keep going farther to the left and see if you see anything else there.
Well, there's this one. Would you say this cross the body is actually it's at the weak of the candle, this one?
Yes, that's correct.
The pivot, So can we take this?
That would not be an entry, and the reason for that is because the wick is not rejecting off the zone, so it needs to reject off the zone as well.
Okay, I thought this one was rejecting, this red one, but this one is rejecting of the zone here. This one you said is not rejecting of the zone. Why?
Yeah. So see on the bottom where it's rejecting off the pivot, there's no zone down there. It needs to reject off the same side.
There has to be a zone at both ends.
On the end where it's rejecting off the pivot. So if it's,
Okay.
yeah, if you're going to take a buy, it needs to have the rejection from the bottom, from the pivot and the structure. But since there's no structure there, there would be no entry.
Okay. So let me just write this down. Yes.
Yeah. So basically you just need to have a double rejection on one side. So either a pivot and zone rejection on the top or a pivot and zone rejection from the bottom, one way or the other.
Okay. So this one fulfills wouldn't you say this one fulfills the pivot and the zone rejection here? But you said this, because I'm getting confused. I would have thought that, this one is being rejected by the pivot, the green pivot.
Yes. So here's a couple
But
of,
there's no zone there at the bottom.
yes. Yeah. Number one, there's no zone. And number two, the green pivot goes through the body. So remember, there's three
Okay, it goes to
requirements.
the body. Okay, I thought it was at the wick. So it's a little off the bottom of the body, the
Yes,
candle.
that is correct.
Okay. Okay, so this is disqualified. Let's look for another one. This is rejected of the zone, rejected of the bottom. This looks like a good entry.
The green one?
Yes.
That one would not be. So for that candle right there, there is no rejection off the pivot. There's a rejection off the structure, but the whole body is within all the pivots. So that green one would not be an entry.
Okay, yeah, the whole body is within the pivots.
That's
Okay,
correct.
so how do I recognize when it's rejected by the pivot? Is it when the pivot part, touches the wick
That's
at the
correct.
back?
Yes, that's correct. So let's do this. Let's change the colors of your wicks. It'll make it a lot easier. So let's go to your settings where it says audio on the, sorry, auto on the bottom right.
Okay.
So go above it. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Click on auto again. Let's leave auto on. So it
Okay.
there you go. And then click on the settings, and then click on the scroll down. There should be a scroll button there. It should be on the bottom of the list. Do you have a scroller? Yeah, there you go. Settings, right there. And then you can click on symbol, the symbol tab on the. There you go. And then let's go to your wick. See where it says wick and it's a green line right there next to it.
Yeah.
Well, let's change that color to black. It's going to make it a lot easier. I've done it for my own charts too. So you can click on that and then just click black. It's going to be easier for you. Yeah. And then the same with the red
Both?
as well. Yeah, both. And then you'll see that it's a lot easier to identify the wick
Okay.
rejections.
Okay.
And then you can click OK and it should be good.
Okay.
So now you can see the wicks. See how the wicks are a lot easier to see where you see the.
Yes, they're much easier now. Yeah.
Yeah, because now you're just looking for that wick to touch the pivot and the bot and the structure, and then when you have those, you'll be good.
Okay. So, okay, this one touches the wick and rejection from the zone. Rejection from the zone, both top and bottom. Okay, this is okay, is it?
So that area right there, I probably wouldn't be trading. Generally, when the market is choppy, and
Okay.
in prices going sideways, I usually don't like to scalp in those areas. The reason for that is that because there's no direction for price. So that area right there, you see how the candles they're just going sideways and they're kind of bouncing back and forth. I would generally not trade within that area. I mean, you can trade if you want to take risky trades, but me personally, I usually don't trade when it's
So
moving
I
like
so this is like avoid any sideways consolidation.
exactly. And
Structure.
one way to identify that an easier way is to go on top where it says currency.com. You can hide the candle. So I can show you. Yeah, scroll over to the there we go. We can hide that. And then looking at the chart, so you can see how the pivots, you see how the pivots are kind of crossing over very often.
Crossing over the body, yeah.
Exactly. So if the pivots are crossing over a lot, like how it is in that small area, I would just wait. I wouldn't take any trades in that area.
Okay.
And I'd wait for them to basically spread out. So once they spread out like next to it, that's when I would take trades.
Okay. Okay.
So you can look at trades from the right side of it. See on the right side where the pivots are starting to spread out a bit and they're not crossing over so much. You can look for trades around that area right there.
Okay. So should I put this on again?
Yes. So click on that there.
So this is a trade here.
Yeah, so if you go over there to that other area, like to the left-hand side, you can see that there's a couple entries on that end. I don't see any entries there on the right, but you can see some on the left.
On the left. Okay.
Yeah, so around that area right there. See where the pivot starts to spread out quite a bit? Go over to the right a little bit, maybe about 10 candles. You can see that there's a few entries to the right side, about 10 candles, a little farther to the right, a little farther, about 10 candles to the right. And then you'll see that there is a couple entries there where the pivots start to spread out quite a bit, where it starts to trend upwards. Oh, so right there. Yeah. So see all those areas there. You can see that there's quite a bit of entries that are available right there. You can see that green one is an entry. The green one next to it is an entry. There's about 5 entries in that area right there.
Yeah, there's 5 entries there, and then there's this one. So I can take this one. So I always put it at the open of the candle, that's all.
Yes, that is correct. So for the green candle, the open of the candle would be, or the close of the candle would be the top of the green body. That would be the area.
So where do I put it? The open or the close?
So for example, if that candle right there that you're looking over, if that's the entry that you're looking for, which is the valid entry since it's rejecting, you would put it at the close of that candle or the open of the following candle. So it'd be right there, right above it. Yeah, there you go. So that would be, and then you can change your parameters to either 25 points or 50 points, depending if you're going for 250 pips or 500 pips.
So, okay, I'll go for 500 pips. And then, okay. So that takes care of that. And this is another trade.
That one would not be, since it's the wick rejection is from the structure, but no pivot rejection. So the first requirement would be a pivot rejection.
Okay, it's not touching any pivot.
That's correct.
Okay. So no trade there. There are no zones here, so I don't even bother to look at this. That's all.
Yeah, you can probably go to the left. I don't think there's any more entries there on the right side, but I think I see a lot there on the left side.
This one is bunched up. This is the weak rejection here, and a zone rejection, both a zone rejection and a weak rejection. But you said I shouldn't trade here
That's correct. Yes,
because
because it's too choppy and it's
it's too
consolidated.
choppy. Yeah.
Yes.
So I go, okay, let's see this one at the top. Okay, this is a good one.
You can hide
This
the indicators. Click on that drop-down menu on right there. Right above it, that arrow that's pointing up, you can click on that and it'll hide the indicators. Right to the left-hand side is right under where it says pivots. There's a arrow that's pointing up. Do you see it's on the
okay, this one.
there you
Okay.
go. Yeah, there you
Okay.
go. And it cleans it up for you.
So I think this fulfills the requirement. There's a weak rejection and a zone rejection. Okay, the pivot is not, it's at the back. So it's not touching the body of the candle, it's at the back of the candle. So would this be a valid entry?
That one, I don't think that red one would be. The red one, I don't see the wick on the bottom. So you can see the wick is too small. I don't think it's
It's
touching.
tiny, very tiny.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very tiny. It could, I mean, technically you might take that, but I don't think I would. I personally would have taken that. It's just too, I would want it to be a lot cleaner, for me to take that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What about this one? Assuming that this was a longer week, this candle is overshooting the zone, but it's this other zone is rejecting it. So would that be valid?
It wouldn't because the requirements aren't met. So I wouldn't take that one.
Oh,
The main thing is to just keep it simple. Don't try to because I see that you try to incorporate like a lot of other things that you've learned before, but a lot of that stuff is irrelevant. It's not really necessary for a strategy like this because the strategy is rule based. So basically, there's requirements that have to be met. If the requirements are met, then there's an entry. If those requirements are not met, then there's no entry. So all of those candlestick patterns that you're looking at, or like the body size, those are it's a bit irrelevant because it's not going to come into play for this specific strategy.
okay.
Yeah. So the problem with doing that is that if you put too many requirements, you're probably not gonna find very many entries because you're going to be mixing strategies together, which is it's not a bad thing, but unless you know how to identify those things, then it's something that you should probably just keep out of it.
Okay, so I should go to the left and look for cleaner setups that comply with the rules.
Yes. Perfect.
Mhm.
It looks like there's a couple entries right there. Do you see that green candle that's to the right of it? There's actually a couple there. There's the green one and the red one next to it. So go over a little bit to let's zoom in a little closer. So let's scroll to the left a little bit just so that we can focus on the other side. Just try scrolling your chart over to the left side so you have more space, and then we can zoom in quite a bit so that we can see.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, perfect. So let's zoom in a little bit so that we can see everything a little better. So let's zoom in a little bit. You can probably click that a couple times. There we go. So it looks a lot better there. So now let's scroll over to the left side again a little more. We'll ignore the right side because we've already analyzed that. Let's just drag your chart over to the left a bit.
Okay, it's that a lot better now. Yeah.
There we go. So now you can see it a lot cleaner. See, it's a lot easier to see the candles.
Yeah. Okay, this one is touching there's a weak rejection here, and it's as well as with and so this should be a good one.
That one I would not take because the pivot is touching the body. So you see how the body is the yellow and the one next to it is good though. The one on the right side, that green one, that's a good one. So
this one.
Yeah, see how it's rejecting off the yellow pivot in that structure?
Yeah, I see it's rejecting of the yellow pivot, and it's not touching the body. This is only touching the wick. So which is you consider this a weak rejection of the pivot?
Yes. So that would be two entries there. So that green candle on the left side, that would be one entry. And the one right next to it on the right side would be another entry as well, because they both have the wick rejection off the yellow pivot and off the structure. So with that said, it qualifies as an entry.
Okay, so I will enter here.
You would enter on the top of the one on the right. There we go. There, that's where your entry would be. So you can enter a long position if you want there to map it out to see if it's something that you would have taken. There you go.
Okay.
Nice. And then you can see there that it hits your full TP off that as well.
Okay. So I don't have to adjust the charts to bring this to the end of this place. I just leave it like this.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Because I used to bring it like that, so I know that this is where the trade ends.
Oh yeah, you can do that. If you want to clean it up, you can do that too. It's not necessary, but if you want to, it's all by preference. If you want to clean it up.
Okay. So but it's not necessary.
Yeah, since you're using a fixed lot, it's not really necessary.
Okay.
And for the most part, when you take the trade and you win already, then you're gonna delete it anyways. So it's just there for reference.
Okay. And trying to look to practice more trades before, so I get used to the strategy. This is a weak rejection. No, it's not touching the pivots.
That's correct. So that green candle right there.
This one is touching the pivots.
Yes, that's correct. That would be a
rejection of the pivots and the structure.
Exactly, yeah. So that would be a valid entry there. That's a good identification.
Okay. Okay, do that. So let's look at this. This is ejecting of the zone, rejection from the zone. So can it touch any pivot or just the yellow pivot?
It can touch any pivot. It can touch the green one, yellow one, orange one, red one.
The red. Okay.
Yeah, the red. So it doesn't matter which color.
Okay. So this one, okay, the wick, there's no wick at the top here.
Yeah, there's no wick, so there would be no entry for that one.
No entry, yeah. So I should just ignore that.
Yes.
This one is touching there's a weak rejection here and a structure rejection. So I can take this trade.
That would not be a trade. The rejections have to be on both sides. I mean, on one side. So if you're doing the pivot rejection on the top, the structure needs to be on top as well.
Okay, the pivot rejection and the structure have to be on top.
On the same side. So either both on top or both on bottom.
Okay, I see. Okay. So well, this one, there's a pivot rejection and a zone rejection.
Yeah, so for that one, I'm not sure if those are, do you know if those zones are proper? Because they look kind of like messy. They look kind of overlapping. I'm not sure. Let's turn on the K2SR to see if those zones are proper. I just want to make sure that the zones are right. So let's hit the replay button first. And then because
Okay.
we would have to go back to that specific point in time. You can go to the replay button next to it, the actual button. And then yes, click on that. And then click on the on that candle that you were looking at. So let's see. Go back to the chart over there. I think you were looking at the red one, right? So let's go to click on that button on the replay toolbar. There's like a candle button that you were just clicking on earlier. Right up top where it says speed, there's a button right there. Yeah, click on that, and then click on that green candle that's next to the entry. It should be that one right there. Yes, that one. Click right there. And then now let's turn on the K2SR indicator. Let's just see if I just want to see if the zone is proper in that area, because I see there's a lot of zones that are overlapping. So it's kind of hard to see if that zone is properly placed.
My
So let's
K2SR indicator has disappeared. Can I?
let's like drag that over. You can just drag it to another area. Drag that toolbar. Let's see. Click on the left hand side. There's like little buttons right there. Right there. Yeah. You can drag that over to the right side.
Okay.
There you
Okay.
go. And let's just make sure that the zones are proper, because it's kind of hard to see if these zones are, yeah, you can click on the, there you go. Okay, yeah. Okay, no, so it's fine, yeah. So it's fine. I just wanted to make sure that the zones were on properly. So for that would technically be an entry right there, that red one.
Okay, which one was I looking at? I can't remember now.
It should be the, you can hide the K2SR indicator so you can clean it up again. Just, go back. Go back to the indicator, and then let's hide the actual zone so it's not all messy on the chart. Yeah, let's click on that, and then click on the I button. There we go. There we go. Clean it up a lot. Okay.
Both?
So yeah, let's go back to that candle that you were looking at. I think you were looking at the one all the way on the right, right? Is that the one you were looking at? The very last one? I think it's the very last candle all the way to the right. I think
This
that's
one?
all the way to the right. It's the very last one on the right. So go all the way to the end. One more. Or yeah, and then it should be that last one right there on the right side. See that red candle where it's rejecting off the red pivot? I think that was
Yeah, this was the one I was looking at.
I think it's
Rejecting of the
it should be two more to the right. It's the very, very last one.
okay.
That I
This
think
one?
that's the one that you were looking at.
Yeah.
So it looks like that would have been an entry, but it looks like that one would have been a loss. So that would have been the first loss out of the other trades that you've identified. So that's like one loss after like about 5 wins, I think.
Why would it be a loss? Because there was no subsequent candles.
So if you click on the see where it says speed, or let's set it up on yours right there. So let's we'll go over to that red when we'll enter a short position. So enter the short tool, and then yeah, let's enter, yeah, right there to the bottom. Yeah, the entry would have been,
Did I take the correct thing?
I think you might have clicked the long tool possibly.
Oh, the wrong thing is coming out. Okay, it's correct. I thought that I was using the wrong tool.
There we go. Yes. So it'd be that one right there. You can place it, and then we can move the candles. Yeah. So you can go ahead and set the parameters. I think it's to 50.
Okay. So why did you say this would have been a loss?
So let's go ahead and push it forward. So go ahead and so let's click on the replay tool. So we'll click on the chart. Let's clean your chart up a little bit. I just click anywhere on the chart. It's gonna, there we go. So see where it says speed. There's a arrow that's next to it that says forward. Right, the one on the right side. There we go. Click there, and we'll click it again.
Okay, I see.
Click it about 2 more times. We'll just move the candles apart. Yeah, you can see that
Okay,
it ends up going the other way.
the
There.
other way. So how did you know before?
Oh,
They
because we replayed it. So when you rewinded it back, I already saw that it was moving in that direction. So I knew that it was. But that in that situation, it would have been you would have won or you would have lost that, because you can see that other one that you marked up right next to it. See the win that's next to it. There was actually 2 entries. So that red one was an entry, but say if you were, or actually, okay, so that trade right there, we wouldn't have taken that trade because
this one.
the red one. Yes, that one.
This.
Because if you look at the timestamp, you can see that it's 6:40, right? The the market opens at 6:30, so we wouldn't have taken, that specific trade, because generally
Okay.
when the market opens, we like to wait a little bit for the for everything to smoothen out before we.
Okay. Okay. So I should be mindful of the time of day.
Yes,
Make
yes,
sure that I don't trade at the immediately at the market open. I wait for the market to smoothen out for about 20 minutes.
yes, yes, yes. 30 minutes, maybe 20 minutes to an hour, depending. You can watch, you can see sometimes, see the previous candles are moving a little slow, and then all of a sudden it starts to move very fast because the market has just opened.
No
So
point, yeah.
yeah, so it becomes a little risky. I mean, sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll win, but some other times you will, you might end up getting a loss if it not doesn't go in your direction.
Okay, so this is good. Okay, so I'll remove this because I shouldn't have taken this trade. I don't want to make a loss.
Yeah, yeah. It's good to know these little things. A lot of things, a lot of people don't think about, but
Yeah.
generally there's a lot of market manipulation on market open because there's so much volatility. So it would, yeah, you would
Okay.
try to avoid trades on market open, which would be 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that would be when the stock market opens.
Okay, I live in Maryland, but I'm currently vacationing in Nigeria. So the time here is about 3, almost 4 a.m.
Oh, that's 4 a.m. Okay.
Yeah, in the morning, yeah.
Hey, is that Pacific time or is that Eastern time? You're Maryland.
No, Maryland
Oh,
is Eastern time, but I'm in Nigeria right now on holidays.
oh, gotcha. Okay, so for that, what time that? Let me check the time
It's 4
converter.
a.m. in the morning.
So
We're
that,
just 5 minutes to 4 a.m.
oh, right now.
Right now we're about 9 hours ahead of you.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you're very ahead of me. So I think for I'm trying to think what time would that be for that candle, because
No, but I have my laptop set to Eastern time, US Eastern time, because I live in America. But right
okay,
now
okay, yeah,
I'm spending some time with family, here in
yeah,
Nigeria.
for the holidays, right? Yeah, okay, that
So I
makes.
still have my laptop set to American time.
Okay, yeah, no, you should be good then. I think that
So
would.
it's 9:55 here, 9:55 p.m. according to my laptop. That's Maryland Eastern time.
Okay, got you.
Yeah,
So
it's East Coast.
so for that candle right there, that red one, do you know what time that would be? Because it says 6 o'clock. I'm not sure if that's.
No, it says 6:55 here.
Uh-huh.
I think it's that specific time.
Oh, that's Pacific time. Okay, okay, so that makes sense. Yeah, so that's proper.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, you're up early trading 4 o'clock.
Yes, I know. Well, I had to do. I needed to get this sorted out because I was making so many mistakes, as you can see. I didn't quite get it, So
Yeah, it
I
looks like you're
have
getting it now, though. So yeah, I think you should be a
it's
lot very better off.
yes, it's becoming more clearer. It's becoming clearer now.
Definitely, that's good.
I'm looking to see whether there's another trade. I can see there's a weak rejection here.
So that green candle looks like it would be an entry. That green one on your right side.
This
So
one?
one, yeah, that one right there. It looks like it's rejecting off that orange pivot. It's also rejecting off the structure. So you could take
Yes, yes.
a short position right there, a sell position.
A sell position?
Yes. So as that candle closed, you can enter a short position right there.
So I'll just put it there. Okay.
Nice. So it looks like that one hit your full TP with no drawdown. It's straight to TP, it looks like.
Yes, straight to TP, no drawdown. This would have been a fantastic one. Yep.
Yeah, see, so you see how that's before 6:30. So that's a good time to trade, like before, 30 minutes before the market opens. And then you can see once it hits 6:30, the price starts to go very opposite very fast.
Yeah.
So you can see it slowly starts to burst. It has a burst of movement right there. So that's a good time. That's a good
Yeah.
time for you to, maybe take a break once it gets to 6:30.
Before the market opens, and then about 30 to 1 minutes to 1 hour
Yeah,
after the market open.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Got to watch out for those. Let me see whether there's another one. This is a zone rejection, but there's no pivot rejected. Okay.
So I think that's it for that area, probably.
Okay, this one we've done. I've just done this. I was just going to say this is a zone rejection and weak rejection, but we've already taken this trade.
That's correct. Yeah. So I think you should go to the left. Maybe there's more on the there you go. There's one right there. Do you see that?
Yeah, this is one. There's a zone rejection and weak rejection here.
Exactly.
So let's see. I think I'll go for the short position. Is that okay?
Yeah, it looks good to me for that green candle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like a good entry to me. So yeah, it looks like for that one, it also no drawdown. As soon as you enter the trade, it looks
yes. And it fulfills the requirements of the zone rejection and weak rejection, and it's not crossing the body of the candle.
Exactly. It looks like it plays out perfectly.
Yeah. So let's see whether we can find another one. Okay.
That red one over there looks good too. The one that was next to the one that you've taken. The
This one?
right there. Yeah, it looks like the wick rejection on top. It rejects off the yellow pivot.
Yes, of the yellow, and it's also rejected by the zone. So, but then there's this green candle next to it.
Yeah. But yeah, like I mentioned before, that would be, you just ignore it. You don't really bother with it too much, because if you
with the candles. Okay.
Mhm.
So I should just ignore that because that was what was misleading me. So that would be a short position.
Yes, that's correct. Since the rejections are from the top side, it would be a short position.
Mm. Oops. Oh, I have too many
Yeah,
overlaps.
you can probably delete the extra ones.
Okay. So that's that. Let's see what
Yeah, if you look down the middle, it
is
looks
it
like there's there's
this
one
one?
there.
You said the candle can touch any of the pivots.
That's correct. So that would be an entry, that green
So
candle.
this looks like an entry, yeah, because it was rejected in the zone structure as well as by the pivot.
Exactly. Yeah, that looks like a perfect entry there.
Okay. Okay. Oops. So, okay, now let me just ask, uh, uh, do you think I've gotten it, or should we try some more to make sure that?
I think you're good. It seems like you're spotting them pretty nicely. I mean, I think for this specific, to really understand this, it's more so about practicing, and then if you find trades that are confusing, what I would recommend you do is just write down the timestamp, or mark it up on your chart, or take a screenshot. That way, we can review it. We can review it
Is it
together. Because for
okay?
this strategy, you can see it's very simple, right? Like once you understand the requirements, it's easy for you to apply. The real help comes when you find bad trades. So if you find a bad trade and you don't understand, why did it lose, then we can possibly go over that. But I don't think you have any right now, right? It's like anything listed. Because usually if whenever you lose a trade, there's always going to be a solution behind it. There's going to be a reason why you lost the trade. Maybe the market
Yeah.
was moving erratic. Maybe you were trading where price was consolidating. There's a lot of different reasons why it could happen. But I think more specifically, you'd have to like figure out which one that you're confused with. But I think for the most part, it looks like it seems like you have it down. um, Unless you're still
Can
confused.
we do some long positions? Because I'm just looking at this. It touches the pivot and is within a zone. This one. Would you consider
Yes.
this a long
Yeah. So,
position?
so those are, I mean, yeah, that would technically be an entry, but it's a little tricky because you can see that there's a lot of entries. So if you go over to like that whole area there, you can see that there's a lot of entries just back to back, right? You can see there's a sell entry and then a buy entry. Usually when there's a lot of entries like that stack up too much, it becomes a little risky because there's so many entries that you can take, because if you take every single one, then most of them look like they'll win, majority. But if you end up taking, just the ones that lose, then, it becomes a little riskier that way.
Okay.
This is why I like to do it on the 10-minute and not the 5-minute, because the 5-minute, there's a lot of noise. Like you'll see a lot of entries, there's more entries, but they're going to be a lot riskier.
How do I change the time frame to 10? Because this doesn't have
Oh
10.
yeah, yeah. So scroll down to the bottom,
Okay.
a little lower. There you go. So on the bottom where it says minutes, just type in 10. See where it says 1. You can type in a
Okay.
0 next to it,
Okay. I was looking for
and
that
then
and
click
then I
add.
say add.
Yeah,
Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Thank you so much. So let me change it to 10 minutes now.
yeah.
See what
Because I personally don't trade on the 5. I feel like the 5, it's just a little too
too
choppy.
noisy.
Yeah, exactly. Too much noise.
Too much noise. Okay.
So
Uh,
So you can see right there on the 10-minute, it's a lot smoother. It's easier for you
It's
to
more a lot smoother, yes. I'm just looking at this buy. This it touches the body.
Yeah, so since now that you're on the 10-minute, you might need to update your zones because I think the zones will be different on
Okay. So I
so
have
you,
to
yeah, you can click
remove
on
them
the
and start again.
yeah, click on the trash button right there on the bottom left. That'll clear up the entire chart for you. There you go. Click on that and then it'll just clean everything
Okay.
up. There we go. So now you
Yeah.
can
Should
turn
I
on
clean the pivot too?
you can leave it on. It should be fine. Because you're
Okay.
just going to be drawing the zone. So you can go ahead and turn your K2SR on.
Okay.
And then you might need to replay. Let's see if there's zones in that area. Okay, so there's zones there. Yeah. What you can do is you can draw your zones around that area or just,
Okay.
certain areas if you'd like. It doesn't need to be everywhere, but just in certain spots so that you can identify, um, where it's at. There you go.
Could I combine this?
Yeah, you can combine those when they overlap like that, or if they're very close, you can just combine them because it's not going to make sense to make two separate small ones right next to each other.
Mhm.
And I think there's one more
Okay,
zone
there's
right
one
there.
more here. Mhm.
There you go.
Now, you used to say if we don't need this extra, but should I keep it on because there's some trades here which. So because I know that you used to, I used to watch some of your classes where you extend that to the left or and the right, or sometimes when you don't need the left, you remove you uncheck it.
Yeah, so
So do I need
I
do I
usually
need
I have them on for me because I like to have them both ways. So what you have now is perfectly fine. That's how I do it. The only
okay.
time that I take it off is when the person, if I have a session with someone else and they don't like them, then that's when we change them. But for me personally, I have them extended to both sides. I like to
Okay,
see
all right. So that's
where
fine.
it touches.
It's
Mhm.
better. So um
Yeah, so now that you've drawn your zones, you can probably turn off the K2SR. It'll clean it up so you don't have those extra lines.
okay.
Or you can just hide the indicator. There you go. And you can just click on the hide button. There you go. And then it cleans it up. So you have a lot more space now.
So there's no zone here.
Yeah, I don't think there was trades for a while. You can probably scroll over to the either the left or the right and see if there is something that you saw over there. But I don't think there was anything that is in this specific area.
No. This one, there's a weak rejection here of the pivot because there's no zone structure here.
Exactly.
So we can't take these trades.
No, not that one. You can turn off the replay button. I don't think we need it anymore. I think we're so you can click on that X button on the toolbar and then it'll go back
I
to
can click on what?
so on that toolbar right there where it says speed, there's an X button that's right next to it. Right to
This
the
one?
right side, it's an X right to the right side at the end of it.
Okay,
There you go.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and then just click yes, so that we can go back to the normal chart, so it's not all messy.
Okay.
There you go, and it just cleans up your chart. Yeah, if you want to turn on your zones, I think there was a trade that was available right in that area. Try to turn on your K2SRs again. I think there was one that was just recent that showed up. So yeah, click on, turn that on. I think there's a zone right there in the middle. There we go, like that red zone right there, right in the middle.
Okay, I didn't fill this up. Let me fill this up. There's a zone here which I didn't fill up. And so
Yeah, so I'll see if you can find that trade. There's one right in the middle that I saw earlier. It's one that one of the members took a few minutes ago.
Okay, this one
Yes, exactly. Spot on.
touches the zone and is the pivot,
That's correct. Yes.
and the pivot is not, the lines and pivots are not crossing on the body, candle body.
That is correct. Yes.
So we can take this trade. That will be a short position. It should be here. Oh, no.
You should so go to the left side next to the magnet where I have the pencil. Click on that button right there. You have it locked on that tool. So go on the left hand side, yeah, right below it, that pencil button.
This one?
Yeah, click on that. There you go. And then click on the magnet. Turn that off to the magnet. There you go.
So what does that do?
It locks in your tool. So every time you click on the short tool, it keeps coming up because you had it locked on.
Okay.
There you go. So you can edit that. Yeah, you can edit the parameters to 50.
Okay. So that's one trade there. This is not within the zone here. Okay, there's a zone here. Let me just. Okay. Now I'm just, okay. But I think this is a trade. It touches the pivot, but it's, and then as well as the zone. But you said they both have to be on the same side.
Yes, exactly. So there would be no entry.
So there won't be any entry here. Okay. So let's look at some, see whether there's any other one.
You can probably scroll over to the left so you have more space there. For that area right there, I wouldn't trade around 12. That's usually where the swap spread happens. So during the swap spread, we don't usually enter trades because that's when the market, you understand what the swap spread is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I usually don't trade around there because that's when the market closes. Usually when that happens, there's a lot of unusual market movement. So once it gets close to once it passes 10:30 a.m. my time, I usually don't trade anymore. I take a break. So that's like lunchtime. Take a break for lunch, and then I come back later for more trades.
Okay. So this is 10:40. Let's see whether we can find some trades here. This one.
Yeah. So that's a little. It's technically a valid entry, but it's not something that I would personally take because it's past 10:30. Once it reaches like, well, 10:30 might be okay, but once it reaches like 11, that's when it's kind of pushing it. At that point, it's getting close to the swap spread, and I usually don't enter any more trades until.
Okay, so I should have a cutoff point like 10:30.
Yes, 10:30, 11. 11 is going to be the very latest. 10:30, that's usually where I go off my live session because usually I'm live from about 6:30 a.m. up until maybe 10:30 a.m. And then at that point, that's when I tell you guys, it's lunchtime, I'm going to take a break. Maybe we should hold off on trades. So around 10:30 to 11 would be break time.
10:30 to 11 would be break time?
Somewhere in between that area. So from 10:30 up until 3 p.m. my time, Pacific time, because 10:30 is basically when the market starts to shift the other way. The swap spread is at 1 p.m.
Okay, you're talking Pacific time now?
Yes.
Okay, so 10:30 would be 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock Eastern time.
Exactly, yes, that's correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, usually around that time, lunchtime, Eastern time, that's when the market starts to move a little irregular. That's usually
Okay,
when you should avoid trades.
this is 9:50. And this touches is rejected of the pivot as well as no, there's no zone here.
Yeah, no lower zone there.
No zone there, so that wouldn't work. Okay, this is rejected of by the pivot, but it doesn't quite enter the zone. Would you consider the wick does not enter the zone?
Yeah, so I wouldn't take that green one, but the red one next to it, you can take that one. See the red one?
This one, okay, this enters the zone, okay.
Yeah, so that
So,
one. So that would be a long position. That'd be a buy.
okay.
You can turn off the K2SR indicator. You can just hide it so that you can take off those green and red lines. It should be the first indicator above it. Or yeah, try go back to your indicators and then just hide the K2SR so it's not blocking your view.
Okay,
There you go. Cleans it up. Easier to see.
okay. So this is the buy.
Yes, that
So,
would be a buy.
but could it also be a sell if you
Uh,
had not seen the green candle?
so
Will you have to wait for the green candle?
you would wait for that. As soon as that red candle closes, you would enter right after it, since your entry would be on the close of that candle.
Okay. On the close of the next candle after
It
the
would
doji.
uh, on the close of the doji candle. So it would be at the bottom of that green candle that you're on. That's where the entry would be. It'd be on the open of that green candle.
Yeah, I had it on the open. Yeah, this one, the green candle.
It'd be below it. So it'd be on
Oh,
the,
sorry, that's the close of the candle.
yeah, exactly.
The
There
light.
you go. There you go.
Okay. 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 So this is a good one too. It's
Um,
touch, it's touching both the zone is with as well as the pivot. You
yes.
want to take that?
Yeah, you could take that too. That looks like that'd be a good buy. The only problem with that is that it's close to the market open, but it's at 6 o'clock. So maybe I personally I probably would have held off on it because the candle that you would open on would be at 6:10. Since that candle closes at 6:10, you only have about 20 minutes until the market opens at 6:30.
Okay. So I should leave
So
that.
so technically you could take that trade. You can mark it to see if it works, which it probably would. It probably would hit, but I would consider that a risky trade. So that
Yeah,
one,
I have to avoid risky trades. I'm like you, very conservative.
yeah, I don't like to take risky trades. So yeah, that area right there, it's kind of risky because that candle that you're looking at, so
Mm-hmm.
that like that one right there, I would not take that one because that's at 6:20. The market opens on that next
At
candle.
6:30, yeah, 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, so that one right there too, 6:10. It's a
This
bit risky.
one, this one is 6 o'clock.
Yeah, but the entry would be at 6:10 because it would be when that candle closes. So
Okay.
it's a little risky. So it's I don't think it's something I would personally take.
Okay. I'll have to avoid that then, no problem. Um, I don't see any trades here.
That green one right there looks good. The one on the right side.
This?
Yeah. So that one rejects off the pivots and the structure.
Okay, the pivot and the zone, yeah. Okay. So and that would be short position. Okay. And this is another one. This rejection from the pivot and the zone. Okay, now
The one next to it, see that,
this,
that red one? The red one on the right side, that would be a good one. It's
this
rejecting off
one
the pivot. Yeah, it's rejecting off the pivot and the structure.
and the zone, yeah.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay, this would be at the close of this candle.
Yes, so it'd be right, yeah, right there. That'd be where your sell is at.
Okay. Okay, there's this one. Okay, this one doesn't, it, the wick does not extend into the zone, so it's just like touching the pivot. This
Yeah.
one, both the pivot and the zone.
Yeah, I wouldn't take those trades though, because if you look at the time, see what time is it? It's
Oh,
12,
I forgot to
yeah,
12:50.
lunchtime. So I
Sorry,
wouldn't,
I keep forgetting to look at the time.
because I can see if you took that trade there, it looks like that would have been a loss. So you can see that if you took a sell there, it shoots up, right? That's why we avoid these times, because the price moves a little tricky. So if you
Okay,
just keep in mind, be cognizant of the time.
time. Okay.
In real time, you probably wouldn't make this mistake, because you know what the time is. It's going to be middle of the day, so you probably
Yeah.
would have you'd be away from your computer at that time. But
Mm,
backtesting it kind of and this is what I mean about, if you run into bad trades, it's easy for you to figure out, what the problem is. There's a couple of things you can look at: the time, you can look at, if the price was choppy. There's going to be always a reason where you can
yeah.
avoid the trade. And this is about us being conservative traders, right? Because we want to maximize wins, minimize losses.
Okay. So I've written here boldly, timing is very important.
Definitely, yeah. I think timing is a lot of people's issues. They want to trade, 24 hours, and they don't realize that there's certain times where you should probably
You will probably
be
hold
careful.
off. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
this is 12. I hold off. This is 11, 10. Am I pushing it? No. But there's no, it didn't enter the zone. So I can't take that trade. This one I can take.
Yes, that red one right there looks like a good buy. It's rejecting from the bottom, so it looks pretty good.
Bottom, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it looks like a solid entry.
bottom and touching the base. Close. So this is all I have to just be focused on, making sure that it's rejected by the zone, the pivot, and the pivot does not cut across the body of the candle.
Exactly. Very simple.
And the timing, and the timing.
And timing, yes. You don't have to look at candlestick patterns. You don't have to look
Patterns, okay, because that was what was confusing me. I used to, I used to see two conflicting candlestick. I'll see one bearish and one bullish, and I said, but and I used to say, but this is a bearish candle. This is full bodied. Why is it going up? It should be going down.
Exactly. Yeah. So with my strategy, the way I trade on the very basics. I trade off momentum. So the thing with candlestick patterns is that they're very subjective. So, what you see on the chart, like you see that, it's bearish, you probably wouldn't take the trade. Another person might see something completely opposite. That's why I don't like looking at candlesticks, because it's too subjective. One person can interpret it totally different from you.
Okay. And okay, so another thing I should focus on, I'm just thinking, if the candlesticks are below the pivots, it's a short position. And if it's above the pivot, it's a sell. Is that right?
Not necessarily, because we're just looking for the rejections, right? We're just looking for the
just looking at the rejections. So I should not bring in price action into it. Okay.
Yeah, it's not necessary. I mean, if you want to, you can, but like I mentioned before, if you start to combine different strategies and you're not combining them properly, then it could get a little tricky. So I wouldn't combine strategies right now. I would make sure that you master the strategy first, and then later on you can add additions to it. I think right now it's fine as it is without adding additions, because obviously this is all that we're applying, and I think you should be fine just following it as is.
Okay, this looks like a good one. It's rejected by the pivot and the zone structure.
Yes, so that looks like that.
And the timing is 9:50.
Yes, so that looks like it. Yeah, it possibly looks like a good one.
Oh, you have any hesitation about it?
I'm trying to think. So the problem with us back testing is that how we drew the zones. It was like it was a day ahead. So the zones that we drew were from March 4th today. But if you look at that date, that's March 3rd. So the zones may be different at that time. So you might have to do a replay. So just click the replay button and we'll click on that green candle next to it. We'll just make sure that the zones are there properly. So that's like one hesitation from back testing, because sometimes the zones may have changed a bit since then. So go to the there, you can click on that green candle next to it, the one on the right. There you go. So you'll rewind to that specific red candle. So go ahead and click on that.
Click on this. Okay.
Yes, click on that candle there. It'll rewind. And then once it rewinds, you can turn on your K2SR. We'll just confirm that that zone is actually there. So let's show that on the chart. Let's click on that show button next to the hide. So right now you're hiding it. So let's say, let's click on that. There we go. Okay, yeah, so that's it. It's a solid it's an actual
one. Yes, touching the pivot and rejected by the zone.
Yes, so you could take that trade there. So you would enter a short position there, and then you can obviously you can try to see if it works.
So to zoom in on a specific trade setup, we click on replay and then click on the candle.
Yes, you'll go to replay and then you'll go back to that candle. This way you can go back in time so you can see where the zones are, because sometimes the zones change, right? So like
Okay.
if you're looking a previous day, like on the 3rd, then it would be totally different from the 4th, because sometimes price moves a lot.
Okay. Okay. So this can be taken. So to go back, what do I do?
You can if you want to test it there, you can, or you can just click the X button. So that X button next to the speed, speed on the right hand side for that toolbar, that one right there, it'll replay it back to where it originally was.
Okay. Okay, thanks. So what now? Where did I see this?
I think it was to the left. So you're kind of far off to the left. You can now you can turn off the K2SR indicator so you can clean up the chart so it's not too choppy. It would be the other button, the hide button, so you can just hide it. Because
Sorry?
yeah, so go back to the K2SR and then we'll hide it right there. So we'll click on the I button. There you go. There you go. So you can
Okay.
clean it up.
Okay, I think this was it. Is it
I
this?
think it was farther to the left. Go farther to the left a little bit. Just scroll over to the left. Let's see. It is, I think it's farther. It was like, oh, okay, it's right next to that green one. So go farther. It was next to that one that you marked up. It was a little farther, actually, I think. It was on the 3rd, so it's a little farther down, a little more, I think. There you go. So it's a little, I
Okay,
think it
this
was
one.
right there. There you go. On March 3rd.
Okay.
It should be the one that's
So
like right in the middle with the long wick.
this one?
Right to the
No.
right, there's about, I think like 10 candles to the right. So if you go over
Okay, okay,
right
this
there, you
one,
go.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
right in the middle.
Okay, I have to make sure that I look at the date and the time to be able to go back, identify
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. You have to make sure you just don't lose that or you're gonna miss the candle.
Yes. So I can take the trade.
Yeah, you can take a short position right there.
That's okay. That's close at the close.
There you go. There you go. Nice. So it looks like there was slight drawdown, but then it went straight to TP right after. It dropped all the way down.
Yeah. So and this is what this is what freaks me out. Once I see a drawdown, I start panicking.
Yeah, that's why it's going to come with practice, because like right now you're practicing, you see how often it wins, right? It wins very often. So if you understand that there's more wins than losses, then if you take losses, it's fine, because you're going to know that the next trade is probably going to win to cover that loss. So usually when I take my trades, I don't really think about the losses. If I have a loss, I'm like, okay, I'm on to the next trade, because I usually make the money back on the next trade.
Yeah, that comes with a lot of experience.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I do this every day, so it's nothing
I
new.
know.
It's
Yeah,
it's just
I've just started, tra trading. So okay, this is another good one. It touches, it's subjected by the pivot and the zone.
yes, perfect entry.
Mhm.
You can enter a short position on that one.
Mhm.
It should
The
be on
close, the
the
close,
close
yeah.
of it. Yeah, right there.
Okay. Now, what after doing the setup, I trade on my phone and MTF4 MT is it MetaTrader 4?
Yeah, MetaTrader 4.
Yeah. And so I just enter the price, the opening price.
So it depends on your broker. Which broker are you using?
Well, Opta FX.
Okay. So I've never used that broker before. I'm not sure what the price might be off by a little bit. So like depending on how off the price is, if it's very similar, then you can just put the same price. But if it's very, very different, then you may have to factor in the difference. So
Okay.
you see there on the top left, it has a price on TradingView. So basically what I would do is I would open your MT4 and then see what the price is on your MT4. If the price is very different, then you need to subtract it to see what the difference is. Or if it's the same, if it's like very close, then you can just use the same number. So it just depends on your broker. Each broker has different pricing. So it just depends on how accurate it is or if it's, very off. That's how you would determine the difference. But it's usually not that high. It's usually only maybe like 10 pips or so. So you can probably use the same number. It's just, it's going to be a little different depending on which broker you're using. Looks like that green one right there is a good
This
entry.
one, yeah.
That one, and there's one right next to it too on the right side.
This one.
And then again right there on the right where it's rejecting off the yellow pivot.
Okay, this
right
one.
there. Yeah, so there's a bunch of good entries there. There's 1, 2, 3 good entries.
These are long. These are buy long positions.
Yes.
So these two rejected by the zone and the pivot.
Exactly. Yeah. So that'd be a good entry too off that green one.
Yeah. Or is it too close to this?
I would still take it, even if it's too close. I would take it. As long as it's a clean entry, you can see that the wick is very clean. It's a clean rejection off the pivot in the structure. I would still take it, even if it's too close.
Okay. Okay, this is not the zone. This is another good one.
Yes. Yeah. It looks like that green one and that red one are both good.
Both good, yeah. Okay, now let me just look at my notes and see whether the other questions. I think I've gotten the hang of this.
Yeah, it's not that difficult, right? Like once you
I just need to practice it.
Yeah, I think you need to practice it live. Once you practice it live, because it's gonna, when you do it live, it's going to play with your emotions. You're going,
yeah.
Because here backtesting, it's easy for you to, just backtest and do it slowly. But when the market is moving, you have only so much time for you to execute these trades.
Yeah. Okay, now if you can just go through your other your other strategies. I wanted to know when you use like the trend meter, momentum indicator, the K² pullback strategy. If you can just go over that so I can have an idea of what's the functions, how to use them.
Yeah, sure. So is there a pair that you like to trade for Forex, or is those are generally used for Forex? So depending on what you like to trade.
I like to trade the GBP USD, the Euro USD, the AUD,
All of the major pairs, basically, right?
USD, yeah.
Yeah. So you can open up any of the pairs, like any one that you like, and then I can show it to you.
Okay.
So we can go to
Oops. I needed to know.
how to open another tab for a trade.
Yes.
Yeah, no, definitely. So go
Because,
to yeah,
sorry. Oops.
yeah. Let's go
Oops.
back to you're fine.
I've lost everything. How do I? Okay. Oh,
Go back to share screen,
okay.
and then I think you turn off the share. So just turn it back on, and then you should be good.
How do I? Okay. How do I turn it back on now? I can't see the.
There should be a toolbar there. It's like a green button that says share, and then you should be able to.
It's well. I have to go back to the Zoom.
Yeah, so there should be a toolbar that's either on the bottom.
Okay, yes, this one, I've seen that. And share.
There you go.
So, okay, so how do I install a new tab?
So see right there where it says unnamed on the top. So go to the drop down next to it. There's a drop down button right next to it.
Okay.
And then click on new chart layout.
Oh, yeah, let me remove the picture, it's covering it. It says new chart layout, okay.
There you go.
Okay. Is that all?
Yes. And then now you have a brand new chart. And then you can save this chart. So you can go up to the drop down menu again, and then you can rename it on there. So you can click like rename, and then you can name this something that you like. I don't know, chart 1, chart 2, or you can chart Forex or indices. It's up to you, however you would like to.
Currency pairs.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Okay. So.
Okay, so now you'll turn on the let's go to one of the pairs that you like. You say Euro USD, right? Or GU, it's up to you.
GBP USD, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so let's open that up. You can go on the top left, or you can go to your watch list, whichever one.
Okay. This one, I can do this one. So.
You just type in GBP and then USD, and then it should come up. There you go. So I prefer to use forex.com data. So I would use the third one. I wouldn't use FXCM. They usually have their data isn't very accurate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, usually for the Forex pairs, I use forex.com. There you go.
Okay.
That one.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So you want to go over the intraday strategy first? So we can you can go to indicators.
Look at this. See, so I have to go to 60 minutes.
30 minutes. Chart? For the intraday strategy, we apply that on the 30-minute.
Okay, 30 minutes. Okay, I usually.
And then for your indicator list, you can delete that volume indicator because we don't use that. So where it says VOL on the indicator list.
This one?
Yeah, you can delete that.
How do I? Okay, just remove.
Yeah, remove. And then go to your indicator list, and then we'll add the trend meter and the momentum indicator. So I'll show you the intraday setting first. The intraday one is going to be there you go. Yeah, invite only scripts. And then you'll turn on the K², that one. You can turn on that one.
This one, the K² Trades Proprietary Trading.
Yeah, that, and then turn on the trend meter as well. There you go. Okay, cool.
That's all?
So, yeah, that would be it. And then for that, you can close that. And then for the trend meter, you can pull it down a little bit. So you can also use the K2SR zones if you like. It's not necessary, but like I mentioned, I like to trade conservatively, so I actually use them. So if you want to use them, you can, but it's not 100% necessary. So let's click. You see on the go to the K2TS indicator. Let's go to your settings. I'm going to clean it up a little bit for you. So let's go to your settings.
Settings.
Yeah, let's for that indicator. So go over to your indicator, and there's a settings button that's next to it.
Okay, this one.
There we
Okay.
go. So let's go to see where it says show MA curves. Just unclick that and then
Okay.
click OK, and then it cleans up your chart. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, so for the intraday strategy, it's pretty simple. Basically, the way that it works is when it matches. So you can see from that red candle right there in the middle, we have a red signal, and then the trend meter below is red as well.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, so there's one entry there, and there's one entry before it. So you can go to the first one right before it, right there. You can, at the close of that candle, you can enter a sell position.
Okay.
So it would be
Yeah.
where that red sell signal appeared. So as soon as that one closed,
Okay,
you
this
can
one.
enter, it would be the red signal on the left side.
Okay, this one.
Yeah, two candles to the left, right there. That
Yeah.
that vertical line. See the vertical line where it's going up and down like the red vertical? That would be the sell signal.
This one.
It'd be to that one right there. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
It would be the vertical line. See how the line is going up and down from the screen?
Yes.
The that one right. It's to the right. There's you see where the red line's going down from the screen from up to top?
Yes, this one.
Yeah, from bottom up. That would be the entry. So at the close of that candle, that's where you would enter your short position.
Yeah. This is the close of.
The close of the candle before it.
Okay, this one.
The one after it. That
This is the one. Okay, there's one here. Is
yes,
on
yes.
the line. I didn't see that.
Yeah, yeah. That one. That would be the one.
Okay, okay. It was blurred. It's blurred because of the red line,
Yeah,
vertical
we
line.
can change those settings. So let's go to your K2TS settings again, and I'll change it a little bit so it's easier for you to see. Yeah, go there, and then go to style, the style tab, and then go to the background color, the second option.
Okay,
So
background
on
color.
that red one, see where it's red? Just click on that
Yeah.
right there, and then go to opexy, and then let's change that to 20. We'll change that number to 20. I'll make it a little lighter so it's easier for you to see.
Yeah.
There you go. Or you can do 10 if you like. If you want it to be very light, but I think 20
No,
is
it's better. It's better now. I can see it.
fine. Yeah, there
I
you go.
can see the candle now. Yes.
Yeah. So
So much better
yes.
now.
Yeah. So on the close of that candle, you would enter the short position.
Okay. So, okay, this tells me that is the sentiment, market sentiment is bearish.
It's indicating that the trend is bearish. Yes.
Yes. Okay, and then this is bullish, the blue.
So when it's blue, that means that it's indecisive. It means that price is in consolidation.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how do I know
Yeah, when it's green, it's trending up. When it's red, it's
when
trending
it's
down.
green, it's
And
trending
when it's
down?
blue,
Okay. So
it's consolidating.
this tells the momentum indicator tells me when the market sentiment, when it's green, is bullish, when it's red, it's bearish.
Basically, yeah, those vertical lines are indicating when momentum is going in a certain direction.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So, and then this meter trend, what is the function of this meter trend?
The trend meter is going to indicate the overall trend. So you can set that to 4 different time frames. So if you go to the settings there for the trend meter, it'll explain a little more what it does. So go down to the bottom, the trend meter,
Yeah.
and then go to the settings, and then you can see that go to inputs. You'll see there that you can change the time frame. So if you want to see what the trend is on those time frames, that's when the trend meter will change that color. So for example, if you're trading intraday, these are the default settings because you would like to know where the trend is going, 30 minutes from now, 1 hour from now, 2 hours from now, 4 hours from now.
Okay.
So that's basically going to give you the overall trend on those 4 different time frames.
Okay. So
So basically, when you enter these trades, you just want to match the momentum with the trend. If momentum is going down and price is trending down, then you'll take, you know, a
Take a
sell.
short position. Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you pull over to the left, let's see if we can see some buys, because you already see the examples for sells there. Let's see if there's any buys in the other direction. So you can just probably pull it over a bit and then see if there is anything else on the.
There's a buy here.
Yes, there'd be a buy, but it doesn't match the trend meter, so you would not take that trade.
Okay. So which one would correspond to which of the what colors of the trend meter would correspond to a buy then?
It would be green. So let's scroll to the right, I mean to the left, and then we'll
Mhm.
see if we can find when the trend meter is green, because then you can find
Okay, I can see it now.
yeah, there you go. So you can see it kind of changes a bit. So
Yeah.
you can see that this is why, like I mentioned, use the K2SR, because I want to identify where the rejection points are. So for example, there you see where it's green, but then it loses. Well, you know, it's a green momentum, but the trend meter is also green, but it still heads down. So in order to prevent yourself from getting caught in, you know, a fake out like this, I would turn on the K2SR indicator. So if you want to turn it on, you can turn it on just to so that it can help you identify, you know, where to trade and where not to trade.
The KTSR. Okay, I have to go. I don't think I
So you
got it
can go
out.
to indicators.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think you have it up there. So you turn
the
on, yeah,
version
the K.
2?
Yeah, I think the version 2 would be best. So you can identify where the points are. So the problem with this strategy is that this strategy works well when the market's trending, but the market hasn't been trending for a while. So I don't know if you're going to find very many good entries. I mean, you'll find some every so often, but let's go play to that green candle right there. So we can see if there was, you know, maybe a zone there that was preventing you from taking that trade. So let's hit the replay button. And then let's go to the, click on that red candle right there.
This one?
Yeah, let's click on that. And let's see if there was a zone above it. Because if there was a zone there, then we probably wouldn't have taken that trade. Yeah, so see how the zone is very close to it?
Was it this one?
See on that on the left side right there, the very last candle, the green one.
This?
Do you see how the zone is
Which one? I can't see the candle. Is it this? Hello? Hello? I lost you.
sorry, do you see me now? Sorry, I think we had a connection issue there.
Issue, yeah. I said, which candle were we looking at?
Hey Gwen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Hey Gwen, just checking. Can you?
I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. We're back. Okay, sorry, connection issue. Yeah, so that green candle right there, the one on the very end, what I would generally do is if price is too close to the, I usually will not trade.
If price is too close to where?
So when price is too close to the zone, so
Okay.
so not right there, but very, or yeah, actually that one too. I wouldn't have taken that trade, so I would have skipped that trade there. I would have also skipped the next one and the next one. Actually, I would skip all of those except the one in the middle, because you
This
can see
one?
that they're right at the zone. You can see where price reaches. Basically, all the buy entries would be where they match. So if you have a vertical green line and it matches with the green meter, then you would take that trade. But if
Okay.
it's too close to the zone, I would probably avoid it.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
for that one,
it's like
yeah,
it's consolidating
exactly. Yeah, it's consolidating.
sideways.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, so you probably wouldn't want to take a trade when that's happening because you might get caught in the consolidation or you might get caught on a random spike or reversal.
Okay. Okay, so do I go back to replay? Or how do I go back?
Oh, to the current price? You can click on the X next to speed. Or you can just scroll back. If you want to just scroll back and look for more entries, you can do that as well.
Okay.
But you see what I mean, right? When I'm talking about
Yeah,
when
I
it's
see
close
what
to the
you
zone,
mean
you
because
probably should avoid it because
this
you
one
might
is
get
a good,
caught in, a bad trade if it reverses on you.
yeah, this looks like a good entry. Isn't it? Would you consider this a good buy entry? Hello? 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 I don't know what's happening. I've lost you. Hello? 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 Looks like I've lost you. Hello? Hello?
Hey, Gwen, are you still there? Sorry, I think
Yeah,
we keep getting disconnected.
we're having connection issues, yes. I said this looks like a good long entry.
Yes. So that it looks like a good long entry, but it wouldn't classify for that specific strategy. So the problem with the strategy is that the market needs to be trending heavily. So it's going to be kind of hard for you to find, good entries unless you're looking when the market is actually trending, um, heavily. For a strategy like this, you're going to have to trade different pairs. You can't just trade, one pair. I think if you want to focus on just GU, I think you should probably just master the Snipe strategy. This one it only works very well when the market's trending heavily, but in all
Okay.
situations, it's not really trending that
Okay,
heavy.
I'll focus on the Snipe strategy then.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
should be best because a lot of people don't really use this strategy anymore since I released the Snipe strategy, and that one's
Okay.
actually a lot better.
Okay. And now I used to see you using a tool to measure how far price is from SR, support and resistance.
Yes,
Which tool is that?
that would be the measuring tool. So you see the ruler
This
right
one?
there? Yes, that would be that one.
Okay, and how do I use it? I just
You can click on the chart and then you can measure from wherever price is from.
okay, say from the so it says
23.3. That would be
23.3. Okay, is that 23.3 points or what?
pips. So if you're looking
Pips.
at
Okay,
if you're looking at the forex pairs, it would be pips.
pips. Okay,
If you're looking at indices, it would be points.
points. Okay, okay. So what do I do? Okay, I just click and it disappears. Okay, then the next question I have is how do I open like 4 charts on my window? I
You
don't know
want
whether
Oh, gotcha. So
I'm,
4 charts at a time.
yes, at a time,
Yeah.
yes.
So see right there where it says currency pairs. There's a box next to it.
Currency pairs.
Yeah, where
Okay,
you
yes,
can
yes,
list. Yeah.
yes,
So there's a box right next to it on the left. You click on that,
yes.
and then you can click 4 squares right there, if that's what you want to set up. Or you can do lines too if you want, depending on how many what's.
Okay, this one for like this. You say you're going to need a bigger monitor.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Your poor plan has 2 charts per tab limit. Okay. So I can only view 2 charts.
Yeah, for your specific plan, you can only use 2 charts. I personally don't like using that. I'd rather have multiple tabs instead. It's easier because when you have too many charts open, it's hard to see.
Yeah, okay.
So I usually just
Yeah.
like one chart and then I just have multiple tabs open instead. It's just easier that way.
Multiple tabs. Okay, you were going to show me how to, okay, you did show me how to open the multiple tabs.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, how do I get out of this
You
two
can go
trades?
back to the that bar
Currency pairs?
right next to it on the left side, and then you can just go back to that one
Okay,
box.
okay,
There
I
you go.
go to a blank.
Yes, the first one.
Okay, the first
There you
one.
go.
Okay, good, thanks. Then, then I wanted to know, how do I calculate my stop loss
Yeah. So
for the
depend
US 30?
US
Since
30.
I'm going to, yeah, since I'm
Yeah.
going to be, can I use the Snipe strategy on equity indexes as well?
Oh yeah.
Indices?
Yeah.
Any
That's
indices?
why I recommend you just focus on that because that works on everything.
Okay.
Everyone uses it for, I mean, they use it for different stocks. They use it on currencies. They use it on indices. It's really up to you how you want to use it.
Okay.
But I would recommend that before you use it, at least test it first, right? Just make sure that it works well. Odds are it's going to work well. You just want to confirm that it actually works consistently before you actually, use it live. You just want to make sure it's good.
Okay. Mm, okay. I think you've answered most of the questions that I jotted down. And I don't think I have anything else.
Perfect. Yeah. When you have more questions, just let me know and we can always get on another session. I'm sure once you practice more and more, you'll probably have more
I'll get
questions
better, yeah.
and then
Well,
just
I
make,
hope,
yeah.
because I was telling my granddaughter Funke, I said, look, I need to master this thing quickly. I said, because I want to start, reaping the benefits because I don't think I have too many years. I'm not as young as I used to be.
Yeah. And this is easy for you too. You just, it's very easy. Like I try to keep it as simple as possible. So you picked it up pretty nicely. I think when you went over the Snipe strategy, you spotted a lot of trades. So I think you should be good doing it on your own.
Okay, suppose I want to use the Snipe strategy on the currency pairs.
Oh yeah. So
But
you can
do
just,
I have to have the pivot as well on it?
yes. So it's the same exact
Same
strategy. It's
exact
just,
strategy. Okay, so I can just put it both on it and then analyze it from there, making sure that it there's a weak rejection on the zone and the pivot, and
exactly.
the lines do not cross the candle body.
Exactly. Same requirements.
Same comments. Okay, so I can use it on any currency asset.
Yeah, you can use it on any asset. You can use it on currency. You can use it on gold. You can use it
Indices. Okay.
on anything really, whatever you feel like using it on.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think you've been so helpful. I'm so grateful, for the support you've given all of us, because I know how much you're sacrificing. You could be multiplying the winnings that you.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's just in my mission to help everyone else because I was in your position too at some point where I didn't have anyone to teach me, and I learned all of this on my own pretty much.
Yeah, that it's hard. I know, because I know what I've gone through. I've only started trading less than a year, and and I've made quite a loss. Not substantial because I'm conservative, but I've made more losses than winnings. So I'm hoping that with this strategy, I'll be better positioned to benefit from what I've learned from you.
Definitely, yeah. And I'm just trying to, pass on, the knowledge because I have so much knowledge in me. I've been trading for so long now that I've kind of run into all of the issues. So if you have any issues with trading, I'm sure I've run into those issues before in the past. So I can definitely help you guys, avoid making the same mistakes I did. I've lost a lot of money on my own. So I want to make sure you guys don't you guys don't run into that as well.
That's very thoughtful of you, and we really appreciate it. Everybody, speaks glowingly about you, and and we all really appreciate, what you're doing for us.
Yeah, definitely. And it makes me happy to see everyone profit. It's amazing to see so many people profit every day just doing
Yes,
what I'm doing. It just proves that what I'm doing works. So
it works.
I,
Yes.
I hope for it to continue on for more years to come.
Amen. It will. It will. Well, I'll keep in touch, and if I have any issues, I'll get back to you and send you a mail, or you know, just to let you know how I'm doing. And of course, I'll be attending the live classes. And
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If you have any other questions, always feel free to reach out. I'm here to help you. I want to make sure that you get this down. It seems
down
like
here.
you have it down already, so I think you're going to be good to go from here moving forward.
Well, I'll still practice, and I'll try to take some trades tomorrow and see how it goes.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, yeah. You'll start to feel it when you're actually doing it live. So
I know.
we'll
Yes,
see
that's when
how.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, but at least you can see from back testing, you can see how accurate it is. So for you, you can start trusting the system that it actually works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the assistance, the tutoring, and see you tomorrow in the live class.
Definitely, yeah. I'll see you tomorrow morning. We'll hopefully we can catch some trades before the weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to catch some sleep now before it's daybreak because
Oh yeah, it's about 5 a.m. for you there, I believe now.
yeah,
You can definitely
yes,
get
it
some
is.
rest before the session tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I can be clear-headed.
Exactly, right? Get some rest. All
Thank you, Shawn.
right, Gwen. So it's good talking
Okay,
to you. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. But until then, I'll catch you tomorrow morning.